Good evening. Welcome to Elyria City Council meeting for Monday, December 1st, 2025. This time we'll take a moment of reflective silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Sawerka, would you please lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mrs. Sawerka. If you would, please, in the audience, please turn your phones to the off or silent mode out of respect for the council meeting. Mr. Clerk, I have roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Callahan.
Here.
Mr. Sira.
Here.
Mr. Armstrong. Here. Mr. Oswald.
Here.
Mrs. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Tollett.
Here.
Mr. Lippian.
Here.
Mrs. Sawerka.
Here.
Mrs. Davis.
Here.
Mr. Schneider. Mr. Stewart.
Here.
We have an excuse for Mr. Schneider.
Can I get a motion?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Public hearings.
There are none.
Can I get we have approval of the minutes for the strategic planning for August 4th, 2025.
So move.
Moved,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Mitchell. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Remarks or reports from city officials. Mayor Brubaker.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of things. Starting tonight through December 22nd, Finwood will be open from 6 to 9. Santa Claus will be there taking pictures. The lights will be on. So we're excited about that. The Parks and Rec Department has done a phenomenal job getting that ready. So I look forward to getting out there when it's dark and you can actually see with the lights on. And then Saturday, as you know, is our Festival of Lights. Starting at 4 o'clock, activities will be going on. And then at 6 o'clock, by way of the Fire Department Ladder 8, Santa Claus will be coming into downtown to turn the lights on in the square to start the holiday season. Mr. Rothgary is here from Water Distribution. I know he had two things to discuss tonight, but one of them, because I had an email from Councilwoman Sawerka in regards to the main break, so I asked him to come and give a short synopsis on the whys. So we have an understanding of why and what is happening throughout the city, because I agree with Councilwoman Sawerka, there's been quite a few of them that don't typically happen, so it'd be nice to have an understanding of that. And then finally, last week, I took many phone calls from residents, several from you, in regards to an article that was in the paper where the headline was low-income housing. I know Mr. Owen McMillan is here tonight, and I know he don't write the headlines. He just writes the story, but the headline was very deceiving. It is not low-income housing. It is affordable workforce housing, completely different animal. It is not subsidized. It is not Section 8. It is for, as the gentleman, I think he's here tonight, shared with us, it's for that first-year school teacher or nurse. But I just wanted to publicly state that the headline was wrong. It is not low-income housing, and the phone calls that I took, the people were understanding once I explained that to them. So I just wanted to share that publicly, and I'll answer any questions if you need to.
Any questions for the mayor? Ms. Sawerka?
Thank you. Through you. I appreciate the update. The water main breaks, we've had so many, and it really hasn't even gotten cold yet, so that was my concern. And then I wanted to say that I'm so happy to see the water fountain at Lake Avenue and Foster back to its original glory. That holds a special place in my heart. That and the water tower on Mussey. We have to rescue that one now, so thank you.
Through you, Mr. President, that was the hard work of Mr. Rothgary and his team, as well as engineering, Mr. Forthover, in getting that set so that we could do that. I know it started under Mayor Brenda's administration back in 2018, so we're happy to have gotten that installed.
Any other questions? Mr. Lippian?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. President, I just want to thank the mayor for working with me on setting up East Rec as a backup warming shelter in case we get to capacity, and also putting other protocols under review to address the unhoused. I just appreciate that. Thanks for working with us, Mayor.
Very good. Any other questions for the mayor? Very good. Thank you. Safety Service Director, Mr. Pianowski.
Thank you. Through you, I mentioned at the last meeting that we were finalizing the street scanning report. You should receive that this week. We're just working out a couple of details, but it looks pretty good, and actually the scoring, I think, came back overall a little higher than we anticipated, so that's a positive. But it's pretty neat to look at the product they've created. So we'll be happy to answer any questions. I have recruited Scott Buzaleski from the engineering department to help us with this. He's kind of a GIS wizard and is very interested in this work, so we'll be happy to answer any questions and help you understand the report. I want to let everybody know we scheduled the last leaf pickup, curbside leaf pickup for the season. We're looking to run that service through the 12th of December. So that's 2 more weeks. We think that the wind has probably gotten most of the leaves off the trees, so now it's just a matter of everybody getting them out front so we can get them cleaned up. But that is our intention, to circle the last cycle to be on the 12th of December. And then I would like to make a referral from the floor. I sent an email earlier today. It's a standing referral. It's for the dispatch collective bargaining agreement, which we did work out some final details, and I did forward to everybody the red line copy, the final draft, and some numbers for your review. But just for future committee assignment, I'd like to make that referral today.
Are you trying to have that for the next meeting on the 8th? Is that your goal?
That would be fine, yes. Thank you.
Okay, very good. We'll have that to the 8th to finance. Ms. Sawerka?
Thank you, through you. Part of the streetscape, there were people on my street measuring the sidewalks. Are we doing some sort of sidewalk program? I mean, weren't in an identified vehicle. I meant to send an email, and I wondered if that was part of the streetscape or not.
The streets, through you, the street scanning was not looking at sidewalks per se, but we do have the sidewalk program that exists, so I'm not sure if that was in conjunction with that or something else, but it should not have been the street scanning portion. We did not include that in our package.
Thank you.
Mr. Lapia, did you have a question?
I did, and then I saw Mr. Armstrong's hand. Thank you, Mr. President. Through you, that reminds me, I just want to thank you for getting that sidewalk program out in the utility bills. We got that, and I'm really glad that we're able to get that done and residents be educated that we have that program available as a loan, so thank you.
Mr. Armstrong, then Mr. Oswald.
Through you, President. With the leaf pickup coming to an end, can we all get an updated list on the main street salt routes? Because we know snow's coming. 1 through 8 and the East Side Helper route, possibly. I don't know if there's been any updates to those, but I'd like to get a fresh copy.
You're just looking for the main plow routes? Is that what you're looking for? Okay. Yep.
Mr. Oswald?
Through you, Mr. President, towards Mrs. Worker's question about the people that were on the sidewalks, was it by 421 East Broad Street by chance? Okay, because I'm having a survey done on that house, and so I didn't know if they were, okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, very good, thank you. Finance Director Plesky.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
Any questions for the Finance Director? Law Director Deary?
Thank you. Good evening through you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
Any questions for the Law Director? Mr. Lippian?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. President, just checking in on the friendlies, seeing how that's going, if there's an update.
Through you, Mr. President, and I see Director Pianowski has his hand up. I've had some communication with the contractor's attorney. Unfortunately, there are still outstanding issues with the parties not having a registered contractor, either with the state or locally as required by our ordinances. They remain out of compliance, and needless to say, they're on borrowed time. Thank you.
Safety Service Director Pianowski?
Yes, thank you. Through you, I can supplement what the law director said. I spoke to the representative for the owner, their attorney, and explained to them where they're at, where they need to be. They tried to file for a permit. They didn't have a licensed contractor. So they have an understanding. It's just a willingness. So we're just waiting for them to do that. I made him aware. I had a very, very frank and positive conversation with him for about 20 minutes. I told him I will be his point of contact for the city, and he can contact me directly at any time with any questions, and I'll work out any, I'll make sure that he has whatever information he needs to get that process moving. So we're just waiting for them to come back to us with the proper applications.
Very good. All right, thank you. Larry Police Department, Chief Welsh. Any questions for the chief? Mr. Oswald?
More just a comment. You guys were passing out food over at the college a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was so cool that you had one of your cruisers parked right in the front corner with the brand-new logo on the front. And I just thought that was some great advertising so people could see that beautiful vehicle now with that logo on there. So I just wanted to mention that. It's a really good positive thing that we got going on for the city. So thanks for getting that taken care of.
Thank you, and we appreciate the support from council on the new car design. We put a lot of work into it, and I think they turned out really well.
Mr. Lippian?
Thank you, through you, Mr. President. Things been quieter on Lexington?
For the most part, yes, but we're pushing forward with the liquor objection.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief. Leary Fire Department, Chief Pernesti. Any questions for Chief Pernesti? Good. Ms. Calvert, Safety Service. Any questions for Ms. Calvert? Ms. Sawerka?
Thank you, through you. I had mentioned to the mayor, and there's a sign where the mattress firm and Panera are on that corner that says this space is available. Was there any insight on that one? Is it that space, or is it the space behind it? Do you know?
I believe, based on a conversation I had several weeks ago, that is what's referred to as General Marsh's property right there. So I'm not 100% sure, but I can look into it and get back to you.
That would be good through you, Mr. President, because I don't think that corner is in the city. That's still in the township.
Correct.
And his used stores are still in township, right? I think.
Correct.
Mr. Chairman, through you, I actually called that number today, Councilwoman, and left a voicemail. So I left my number and I left Ms. Calvert's number.
Any other questions for Ms. Calvert? Thank you, Ms. Calvert. City Engineer, Mr. Schneider. Any questions for Mr. Schneider?
I have one.
Ms. Werka?
Thank you, through you. East River between University and the corporate limits looks fantastic, but the manhole covers are still down low. So are they done over there?
I know there were a few more streets out there they're working on still.
Okay.
I don't know if that one has been done or not yet. I haven't driven that road in a little while, but I will verify.
If you could take a look, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Ms. Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. President, through you. Mr. Snyder, what are they doing on Lowell Street?
Lowell Street, we're extending the sanitary sewer, so we're upsizing the existing sanitary sewer that's right around, well, just past Kokosing. It will be extended west all the way over to Church of the Open Door. That actually started Wednesday. So, but it was out to bid a number of months ago, but unfortunately, the delay in materials has caused them to push it back until December here.
Thank you.
Other questions for Engineer Schneider? City Planner, Mr. Schoenig.
Thank you, Mr. President. Through you, I'm requesting an item be referred from the floor for the Planning Commission meeting held on December 9th. The matter is pertaining to properties associated with 649 South Abbey Road. The applicant has proposed to consolidate 10 existing parcels and split them into 3 new adjoining parcels, and as well add a sanitary easement on site for utility access. Thank you.
Okay, very good. We'll make that to Community Development. Now that will go after your Planning Commission meeting, won't be, just so that you're aware of that. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Schoenig? Do you have any other thing to add, Mr. Schoenig?
Nothing else to report here. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Very good. All right, Larry, Water Department, Mr. Ofgary.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. President, I wanted to address a question about the amount of main breaks that we've had this fall, which has been as a matter of count. So for 2025, which is September, October, and November, we have 33. Last year, for that same time, we had 17. So we have double. The thing is that we've had as I explained earlier in the year, we had a lot of that late fall drought where we were still pumping a lot of water, which kind of brought those numbers up in September. And then actually, we haven't gotten the real freeze yet, but we have gotten that shift where we're starting to see those colder weather breaks, which are usually a different kind of break. A lot of times they're holes, and usually the cold weather ones are splits. So we are seeing more splits, which is indicative of, I don't really keep track of the lake temperature, but maybe with the winds and the seiche and everything where it's pushing the water around, it's got something to do with that. But for the most part, I think it's an odd fall, that really was, what I had reported to you earlier.
Mr. Rothgar, is there a certain area that where these are more so prevalent?
Primarily in older areas or certain areas where at the timing of the pipe installs, they were cheaper pipe. Because again, some of the stuff from 1940 was very robust, and then some of it from 1955 isn't as much. But for the most part, they are pretty spread around. They're not too many in one spot per se.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Ms. Sawerka?
Thank you, through you. But there's been no change in the pumping, at the pumping plant of how they're doing it with the new person there? I mean, nothing's changed there. It just does seem like an inordinate large amount of them. And even a few of them, I think, happen more than one time on the same street. But nothing's changed at the plant to change the pressure, or?
I couldn't really speak to, well, not really a change in pressure, but maybe just in how they're operating the plant and, when the towers are full. Because when the towers are full, that's right at the prime time in the night when the pressure gets the highest, and then they adjust down. So there may be a little change in that, which they do have fairly young in time pump operators up there. So, and I wouldn't want to speak for the plant superintendent, but in general, that's pretty much the same as, the standard procedure. So I couldn't really call that out too much, kind of based on these later breaks have been appeared to be temperature breaks.
Through you. I appreciate the mayor following up. I appreciate your answer, and I think that maybe keeping an eye on it, because if there is some process that maybe they just tweaked a little bit, that could be adding to it or contributing to it.
1 or 2 pounds can make a difference on any given night, because there are just certain places that are, they're just kind of ready, or, some fluctuations. And again, some fluctuations will always be seen, but I think we just kind of had the double whammy here. And again, I couldn't speak for the new superintendent, but I know everything that I've had conversations with him about, he's really on his game.
Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions for Mr. Rothgar? Thank you.
I do have something else.
Yes.
Through you. I wanted to report a little bit about lead line replacement. That's kind of become more out there from other cities and, what they're doing. And we are just starting this week into our 5th phase of replacements. And to date, we have touched 1,350 properties. I believe I've got that. Yeah, so we have touched 1,350 properties that were unknown and either made sure they weren't lead or actually replaced those to new copper lines on both the city side and the customer side, which has been a real boon, especially since lead is in the older sections of town, and that gives an upgrade to a lot of the people who are least able to afford it. So that's been one of the real beauties of the lead project. And we've had the same contractor through every phase, and so we all really know each other really well. We're very well oiled, and we're looking to continue doing how well it's been going so far. And I just hadn't reported that in a while, so I thought you would appreciate that.
Mr. Rothgar, where is Phase 5 at?
There is a lot in St. Jude's area for Phase 5, which we hadn't touched. There are still a few in the Old Heights I think Oxford and Cambridge, they may be started now. I haven't been down in your area to know whether they've started there yet. But so there was a few Old Heights and then a good amount in the St. Jude's area. And we've got like a list of like 400 for this phase, which depending on how easy or fast they go through them, then we'll add to them and probably end up in the Old Heights.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Rothgary? Ms. Davis?
Through you. I noticed a lot of flags on Furnace. I saw them working from the 5 Point down, so now they're down closer to the water tower. So is that part of them? They got flags everywhere.
I've noticed that too, that there were a lot of flags that were ours, but it appears that there have been some markings on West River and Furnace that are not from us, because we are pretty much finished on Furnace. But I have also noticed that there's a string of gas flags. I'm not sure if that's the gas company, which they're not real awesome about letting us know what they're doing, but maybe someone else, the engineer or somebody may know something, but I have noticed that too, Ms. Davis.
Any other questions? Oh, go ahead.
Okay, through you, then we need to find out if the flags are there and nobody knows, especially if you don't know.
I can
Maybe-
find out.
Thank you. I would like to know,
Yep.
because somebody's going to call
Yeah.
sooner or later, want to know.
Sure, I can
because the
find out that
flags are
information.
actually leading up to people's houses, so if there's a gas problem, I want to know.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Law Director Derry?
Thank you, through you, Mr. President. Just to you, Mr. Rothgary, to the rest of what we informally call the water team. I know that we're now on this 5th phase, as you said. I know that Mr. Jacob, who has since retired, and you and Ms. Connor as well, you are all really proponents of us being really right at the forefront of going after that, those statewide loans and things. And I know there was a lot of paperwork and a lot of forms, and I know they keep showing up in our office, and I would, just as soon as we would get them back out to you, there'd be another set that was arriving and another set of ordinances to do, and I'd say, didn't we just do these? And they're like, oh, yeah, that was phase 3, though, and this is phase 4 and whatever, but I know that those figures you just quoted, I mean, we really are ahead of some of our neighboring communities, and I know that was because of you, and again, both Mr. Jacobs really wanted to make sure that Elyria was able to take advantage of this program, especially for some of the pockets and neighborhoods that really, really needed it. So just, kudos to you and the rest of that team. So, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody else up here really knew that, and members of the public as well, because as you said, I mean, there's thousands of homes that we're checking and thousands that are getting this assistance as well. And we always hear about lead and again, just the detrimental effects. And it does take a program like this to really be able to tackle it on a citywide scale. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jacob really was a bulldog on, and again, really concentrating on the fact that if there's federal funds, the people who are ready are going to get them. And so we wanted to be those people. And so he really did work hard. And Sam Jr. also, he really, I mean, he handles the state paperwork like nobody you've ever seen, and keeping all the ducks in a row so that we can kind of concentrate on the field work. So we all really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, thank you for the collective effort. Any other questions for Mr. Rothgary? All right, very good. I think that does it for everybody. Petitions and remonstrances from the lobby.
Do you have referrals?
Oh, forgive me. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back it up. President's referrals and remonstrances. Item number 1, finance. Item number 2, finance and utilities. Item number 3, finance and utilities. Then the 2 that referred to tonight by the director and the planning. And then items 4 through 5 received and placed on file in the clerk's office. Now, petitions and remonstrances from the lobby.
There are none.
Thank you for setting that straight. Petitions and remonstrances from council members.
There are none.
Reports of standing and special committees.
And there are none.
Resolutions, first reading.
Sponsored by Utilities, a resolution approving the appointment of 3 members to the Elyria Demolition Board of Appeals pursuant to Section 1391.125 of the Elyria Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell?
Mr. President, I ask that this resolution be passed on its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-55. Sponsored by Finance, a resolution approving a list submitted by the Safety Service Director for the collection of lot mowing charges and directing the Clerk of Council to certify said list to Lorraine County Auditor.
Mr. Tolet.
Mr. President, I ask that this resolution be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sarah. Is there any further discussion?
Question?
Question's been called. On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-56. That's all resolutions first reading.
Resolution, second reading.
There are none.
Resolutions, third reading.
There are none.
Ordinances, first reading.
Sponsored by Community Development, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to Chapter 1135 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Elyria, Ohio, to Hilltide Ventures LLC for multifamily residential housing development at real property located at West River Road, North, Elyria, Ohio.
I declare this ordinance has had its first reading. Public hearing is scheduled for January 5th, 2026.
Sponsored by Community Development, an ordinance accepting the dedication of certain lands, easements, and rights of way for the installation of streets and utilities as provided for the replat of Windsor Place subdivision and to declare an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell?
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sarah. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-199. Sponsored by Community Development and Finance, an ordinance authorizing an amendment to Community Reinvestment Area Number 1, CRA 1, to consider the proposed boundaries and framework of CRA 1 in accordance with Chapter 3735 of the Ohio Revised Code as amended by Senate Bill 33, effective April 4th, 2023, to repeal any terms contrary to those set forth in Senate Bill 33 and declare an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell?
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tolet. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-200. Sponsored by Finance, an ordinance authorizing the Finance Director to pay a moral claim to Jessica Stewart and David Schroff.
Mr. President, or Mr. Clerk, I'm going to step out due to apparent conflict of interest. Ms. Mitchell, if you would please take over.
Mr. Tolet.
I'm sorry. I would ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tolet, second by Mrs. Davis. Is there any other discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? On the passage, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-201.
somebody get Vic? please?
Oh,
Just leave him up there.
We're fine.
Ms. Mitchell?
You're welcome.
Sponsored by Finance. An ordinance amending Chapter 959 entitled Sanitation Rules and Regulations, Section 959.11, entitled Rates and Collection, to create new provisions of the codified ordinances of the city of Elyria and declare an emergency.
Mr. Tolet?
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Mr. Sarah. Is there any further discussion? Ms. Swerka?
Thank you. Through you, could someone clarify for me the subsections A, where it says there'll be an additional charge for additional pickup? Is that within the month? Is that a week? What's the period for the additional charge?
Through you, Mr. President, if I may.
Law Director Derry?
That language in the ordinance has not been changed. It has actually been in effect for quite some time. That is per additional pickup requested. So that would be, for instance, a turnout on an eviction, perhaps, I don't see anybody here from sanitation, but if either the mayor or safety service would like to give additional examples, but that would be on a per pickup basis.
Mayor Brubaker, did you want to weigh in, or Mr. Pianowski?
Thank you, through you. So a pickup in addition to your normal weekly pickup is how I would interpret that. I don't have a copy of it here in front of me, but that's, as what you've read, that's how I'd interpret that. So whether it's a different day or it's a significant amount, but we do charge if it's bulk and the tree lawn is full, we do charge for an excess bulk. So whether that's considered an additional pickup, I'd have to read the language, which, like I said, I don't have a copy in front of me, but that's how I would interpret that.
Is there any further discussion? Law Director Derry?
Thank you. And through you, Mr. President, just to reiterate, the structure of this ordinance, that this has been in effect for quite some time, not only the additional pickup charge, but also the additional $25 crew charge. I would note the $25 crew charge has, the amount has not been changed. And I don't have anything further unless there are further questions.
Through you.
Ms. Zwerka?
Thank you, through you. So I would suggest that perhaps we need to revise this after we pass the initial changes. I'm supporting the additional sanitation charge, but perhaps those other ones need to be taken a look at, because eviction piles are billed differently. And just to clarify, is that a one-time, is it a month, is it a week? It may have been in there for a long time, but it needs to be clarified. Thank you.
Excuse me, through you, Mr. President, I would just note, it does say for each such additional pickup. I read that as per time. And that's how I would interpret it. So should council wish to change that, then I would note that council should look into stating per month, per week additional, because as it reads now, it is per time, per pickup, additional. Thank you.
Okay.
Call for the question.
In regard, no, just, I'm not going to support this just because of my position earlier in regards to the rate increases that are going to be before us, but then the sanitation department, I just feel that this is inevitably something that's, going to continue to rise. So is there any further discussion? If not, call for the question.
Call for the question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Nay. One nay.
Ordinance 2025-202. Sponsored by Finance, an ordinance amending Elyria Codified Ordinances, Section 109.12, Elyria Municipal Water Supply System, in pertinent part, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Tolet.
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-203. Sponsored by Finance, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and accept, if offered, the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant for the Parks and Recreation Department and declare an emergency.
Mr. Tolet.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes, Mr. Lippian?
Yep, through you, Mr. President, due to the potential for perceived conflict of interest, I'll be stepping out for this vote and abstain. Mr. Tolet, if you wouldn't mind coming and tagging me.
I will come and get you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-204. Sponsored by Finance, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to submit an application for and accept, if offered, the Ohio Department of Transportation State Infrastructure Bank loan for the city's portion of the LOR-20-301 PID-112691 ODOT Urban Paving Program and declare an emergency.
Mr. Tolet.
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules and declared an emergency.
Second. Second by Mr. Sarah. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-205. Sponsored by Finance, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a professional services agreement with Macaulay and Company LLC for grant consulting and writing, government and public relations, and resource development services.
Mr. Tolet.
Mr. President, I ask that this ordinance be passed in its first reading under suspension of rules.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
It's 2025-206. That's all ordinances first reading.
Ordinance's second reading.
There are none.
Ordinance's third reading.
There are none.
Committee calls.
Finance and Utilities request the Law Director, Safety Service Director, Building Inspector, and Engineer on Monday, 12/8, beginning at 6 p.m. Strategic Plan requests the Mayor, Safety Service Director, Finance Director, and Law Director on Monday, 12/15, immediately following full council.
Miscellaneous and unfinished business. Law Director Deary.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. President, I apologize for not making mention of this during my report. There are 3 ordinances under miscellaneous and unfinished business. They're needed to address what is essentially a Scribner's error, but there's substance behind them, which is the need for having ordinances drafted. They're needed to correct the legal name of contracting entity, Black & Veatch. Actually, there's an original ordinance that authorized the contract, and then 2 subsequent ordinances that addressed amendments on that original contract. Black & Veatch has several branches of the corporate tree, if you will. The city actually does business with both of those branches, and therefore the contracts themselves are correct, but the ordinances are not. So 3 different ordinances, each one addresses, a 2023 ordinance, a 2024 ordinance, and a 2025 ordinance. So I would respectfully request the council consider them and pass them so that we get everything squared away. Thank you.
The questions for Mr. Oswald?
Just a comment. So lately, we've had a lot of discussion about this apartment complex going on over there.
Mr. Oswald, is there any, so,
Unfinished business?
this is, well, how about we deal with these 3 here, and then you can
Oh,
ask
I'm
her?
sorry.
That's okay. Is there any other questions in regards to Ms. Derry's comments? I think, so at this point, we need to make a motion to do these without a benefit of committee report. Okay, very good. Mr. Lacko.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2023-146 to reflect the legal name of the contracting entity as listed within the Ohio Secretary of State and declare an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell.
Mr. President, I ask that we consider this ordinance without the benefit of a committee report under suspension of rules and declare it an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-207. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2024-183 to reflect the legal name of the contracting entity as listed within the Ohio Secretary of State and declare an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell.
Mr. President, I ask that we consider this ordinance without the benefit of a committee report under suspension of rules and declare it an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Ordinance 2025-208. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-169 to reflect the legal name of the contracting entity as listed with the Ohio Secretary of State and declare an emergency.
Ms. Mitchell.
Mr. President, I ask that we consider this ordinance without the benefit of a committee report under suspension of rules and declare it an emergency.
Second.
Second by Ms. Davis. Is there any further discussion?
Question.
On the suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the emergency, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. On the passage, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Mr. Oswald.
Ordinance 2025-209.
Mr. Oswald.
Well, I first apologize for jumping the gun. Sometimes my hearing ain't so great, too. So anyhow, I've had a lot of conversation with people. I've read a lot of Facebook stuff. And I'm fortunate because I get to drive around the city of Elyria every day. So I'm on the west side, I'm on the south side, the east side, the north side. And I constantly, of course, I'm a positive person. I see all the good things going on. We have a lot of stuff going on over by the mall, and people feel that maybe apartments are getting centralized, but this is what they do. This is where they go. This is where the business is. I go over to the south end of Indian Hollow, and you have 500 homes being built. okay? You go in the west side and you see the beautiful parks that they're doing over there that they're finishing up. And all the development now that's starting to happen over on, off of West Ridge, okay? I mean, that's just the beginning of it. But see, I have the opportunity to go around. And the people that I see, I think that get these comments and they feel maybe that we're not doing everything. If they just got out of the box sometime, they get up, they go to work, they go to A, and they come back. And then if they have to go to the grocery store, they go to the same grocery store and come back. And they don't see the whole big picture. And when you start looking at that whole big picture, you'll start seeing that, you know what, Elyria's doing pretty damn good right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. So just take a chance, go out, drive around, and see what's out there and see what's actually happening. And then maybe you'll say, oh my goodness, that administration's doing a pretty good job. So please, go out, drive around the city, you know, take some time, enjoy those parks, and see how much good stuff that we have to offer in the city of Elyria. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oswald. Anybody else have any questions or any miscellaneous business? Ms. Davis?
To comment also, we have gyms in Elyria. And one of the things is, if you don't travel outside the box like he says, go to other cities and see how their streets are. We are so grateful for the citizens that passed the legislation so we could have the streets that we have fixed. And so we are just so happy to be able to drive down the street and not worry about all these holes. You can look down the street and see how nice our streets are in this city, all over. And we're still working on them. Sooner or later, we will hit every street in the city of Elyria. So we are thankful for that, and we just have gyms here. Thank you, Mayor, for working with us, and thank the citizens for believing in us. We just thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Mr. Armstrong.
I'm going to piggyback off my two colleagues also. I would encourage everybody to drive around and notice what beautiful gem of a city we do have. And I also want to continue to encourage our colleagues to come out and enjoy all the festivals we have. Hopefully, Kenny, you dress up as Santa Claus on Saturday. Can't wait to see you. But we also have to remember we are blessed to have recreation centers, and there's not a lot of cities that have that. So I want to also encourage, if your kids or grandbabies or whoever baby, we have a lot of programs, so sign them up all year long. But again, just go out and drive your neighborhood and just feel proud of where you live, be part of where you live, and just be more active of where you live. And with those steps, we can continue to just make this gym shine brighter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Anybody else? If not, Ms. Mitchell?
Mr. President, seeing none, I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Question.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned.
Very good. Very good. I must have lost that last page. Your microphone? Your microphone?